The Battle of Keresztes took place on 24 to 26 October 1596. The battle was fought between a combined Habsburg Transylvanian force and the Ottoman Empire, near the village of Keresztes in northern Hungary. The battle ended with a victory by the Ottoman Empire. Background: on 23 June 1596, an Ottoman army marched from the city of Constantinople, commanded by Sultan Mehmed III. The army marched through Edirne, Philip, Sofia and Nis to arrive at Belgrade on 9 August. On 20 August, the army crossed the river Sava by bridge and entered the Austrian territory of Siren. A war council was called at Slankaman Castle, and it was decided that they would begin a siege on the Hungarian fort of Vega. The fort controlled the communication routes between Habsburg Austria and Transylvania, all of whom were in revolt against the Ottoman suzerainty. However, news soon arrived that the Austrians had besieged and succeeded in taking over the castle of Hatvan and had killed all the Ottomans housed there, including the women and children. The Ottoman army started a siege on the fort of Vega on 21 September 1596, and by 12 October the castle had capitulated. As a retaliation to the Hatvan Castle massacre, the defenders of this castle were all executed. Not long after, Ottoman command received the report that a mixed army of Austrians and Transylvanians were advancing towards the Ottoman expeditionary force. A war council was conducted under Grand Vizier Damat Ibrahim Pasha. It was decided that the Ottoman army should march out of the Erlor castle so as to meet the Austrians at a suitable battle terrain. The Sultan thought that the Ottoman army should disengage and return to Constantinople. It was with great difficulty that he was persuaded to engage the enemy forces. Battle. The Ottoman army marched through several passageways of marshy terrain and reached Hakova, exhausted after a long siege and a hard, long march. The two armies faced each other on the plains of Hakova. The Austrian Transylvanian army, under the joint command of Archduke Maximilian III of Austria and Prince Sigismund Bathory of Transylvania, was in position in fortified trenches. When the Ottoman army attacked the Austrian trenches, the Battle of Hakova commenced and continued for 2 days, from 25–26 October 1596. Early firearms were used extensively in the battle. The Austrians, being entrenched around the old ruined church, succeeded in driving back the Ottoman assaults with a barrage of cannon and musket fire. By the second day of battle, the Ottoman army appeared to have been defeated. According to the 17th-century Ottoman historian Ibrahim Pesavi, the Christians broke through the Ottoman army, but the soldiers of the Islam had not yet felt the defeat. Then, they started to plunder and taking a booty at the command headquarters of the Ottomans. Under a few flags, a large group of Christian soldiers attacked the tent where the chests of gold money of the Ottoman exchequer were kept. They killed and otherwise eliminated the Janissary and household cavalry soldiers guarding the state treasury. The Christian soldiers got on the treasury chests of gold coin and put up to their flags of cross over them and started to dance around them. Commander Sultan Mehmed III wanted to flee from the battlefield. However, first he asked for the opinion of his tutor, the high cleric Hocasadeddin Effendi. Effendi told the Sultan that he should continue the battle till the end. Heeding this advice, Sultan Mehmed III ordered that the battle should continue. On the second day of the battle, the fighting intensified. Troops from the Austrian army had reached the Sultan's tent, which was surrounded by the viziers and the teachers at the palace pages school for protection. While some troops were trying to enter the Sultan's tent, the other Austrian army's soldiers disengaged, in search of booty and plunder instead of continuing the engagement. The Ottoman horse groomers, cooks, tent makers, camels minders retaliated against the plunderers with whatever arms they could find, including cooks' spoons, blocks of wood, hammers for tent making, adzes, and axes for cutting wood. The Austrians were surprised and retreated in confusion. The cries of "the Christian enemy is fleeing" were heard by the Ottoman troops still fighting what seemed like a losing battle on the front line. The boost of morale allowed them to recover the battle. With a major action from the artillery, the Ottoman forces started another attack on the Austrians across the front and outflanked the Austrian Transylvanian army, routing them. Aftermath. Soon after victory, Mehmed III appointed Sagalazad Yusuf Sanar Pasha as the new Grand Vizier. He sent an imperial victory proclamation to Constantinople giving the news of the conquering of Egra Castle and the victory at the Battle of Hakover. This reached Constantinople in October and there were public celebrations and public meetings organized in the city. During these celebrations, 4 galleys full of state-procured sugar from Egypt arrived at Constantinople harbor, which added sweetness to the news of a military victory. Mehmed III was awarded the epithet of Conqueror of Egra. The Sultan's army marched for a month, returning to Constantinople victorious. With the army in place, a great victory procession was organized. A victory procession and many accompanying spectacles were carried out. The poets of Constantinople wrote special works about the victory. In the streets and markets of the city, town criers were sent to announce that the streets of the city would be decorated. The warehouses and stores were all decorated with valuable clothes. This display of color all across the city is described in a poem by the poet Kamal.